On a winter day in Austin, Marshall Wright fixes some food for his family.
The ducks, I only want to do them to about medium rare. Onion, green bell pepper, and celery. What they call the Holy Trinity.
Marshall has been cooking all his life, but this meal is different from most.
I'm gonna make gumbo.
The preparation for it really began in a hunter education class 6 months earlier.
Which one's got the most control over the firearm muzzle? The one in the middle, absolutely.
Marshall's interest in healthy, local food has led him to explore hunting for the first time.
Not to stereotype, but I don't maybe necessarily look like a hunter.
But Marshall does represent a new trend among city dwellers who want to know more about where their food comes from.
That's good. We're at the downtown Austin Farmers Market. I guess I'll have to try them. I like the smaller ones as well. Shopping at farmers markets in general has started to gain a lot of popularity.
The smaller ones are $3 and the biggest ones are $5.
You can come to the market and get food straight from the source. It's going to be better for you to eat, and it's better for the local economy. Thank you.
Enjoy, brother.
Thanks, Larry. Because of the rise in obesity in America, because of the Food Inc. movies, because of the Michael Pollan books, it's hard now to ignore where your food comes from. I hate to say it's trendy because I think people are finally realizing we need to get back to how we shop and how we eat. Yeah.
If you want any help or feedback.
And Marshall brings back more than food from his trips to the farmer's market.
I'm actually in the process of shooting a cookbook.
Food photography is as much his passion as cooking and eating.
So much food photography is focused on that finished dish. I like the process of cooking the food or preparing the food as much as I do the eating of the food, and then to capture that with photography. I like this one.
When Marshall is not at the computer for his photography or his job in social media, he also keeps a blog about, you guessed it, food.
My blog's very heavy on photography, but I definitely got into it as a means of exploring my passion for food. For the most part, I just like to eat.
This focus on food has led to Marshall's interest in getting some the traditional way.
This shotgun here came from my father-in-law. There is a primal back to basics element of it that I think is very prominent in food culture right now. What can we do and how can we find ways to eat that we know what we're eating? And so hunting seemed to be obviously a logical step to that.
Marshall Wright.
So what now that Marshall has learned the rules of hunter safety?
92, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, now what? Probably to learn how to shoot a gun. That'd be a good start.
Our goal today is just essentially familiarization with a shotgun.
To get some hands-on experience, Marshall also enrolls in a hunter education field course.
So today we're going after these birds called skeet. Okay. Now it's loaded, ready to go. Keep your finger outside the trigger guard until we're ready to fire.
Pull. Still a little bit intimidating.
Nice. You have to move the muzzle to the bird.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pull. There's more to think about than I thought.
Okay, nice. What you had problems doing is finding the bird quicker.
Pull. I've shot a shotgun once.
Ooh,
This was the first time.
just below it.
Pull. I hit 0.
Okay.
I want a bird hunt. It's gonna take some more practice, but I'll definitely get it.
Ooh, just scratch the left edge of it.
I at least got a little piece of one.
What is this part called?
Yeah, but
Stock.
As
There you
Marshall
go.
finds out, if you don't grow up hunting, learning the ropes can take some effort. While interest and determination go a long way, getting started may mean finding friends who already hunt or hiring a guide.
All right, roll that over on the bolt handle if you would please.
Downrange, but in the same position.
Fortunately, through a contact from this class, Marshall is invited on his
12,
first
13,
hunt.
14, 15. So that's something.
All the preparation may soon pay off.
Nice.
All right, nailed it.
You know, it's not grab a gun and go sit out in the woods and shoot something. There's a lot that's involved in getting to this point. I do hope it's successful. Either way, I get to be outside and we get to be in nature and do something fun. Yes, ma'am, I need to get a hunting license, please.
Okay. And what are you going to be hunting for?
For duck.
Okay.
And of course, I had to go buy a hunting license, which I went and did this morning. So I'm licensed now officially, and
Have a good day.
thank you so much. I'm gonna get some ammo for the hunt, and yeah, then we'll be ready to go early, 5:30 in the morning tomorrow.
All right, let's go and sit down and get ready. It was pretty slow. This property typically will have 5 to 12 flights of birds. Get it. Shoot.
Far off.
Yeah. Kill, no bird. We saw 4 groups of birds work, but that's part of hunting.
Just sitting there and waiting in the anticipation of when the birds are going to come and if they're going to come and what do you do when they come, and and you have to go through all the stuff that you've learned in hunter education, and thinking about your firearm and just everything about it runs through you in a split second. It was exciting.
There's some birds up top. Take them. Good shot, Dixie. Nice shot, Marshall.
Thank you.
Nice shot. Marshall did great. I'm impressed. Good girl.
I happened to be lucky and got a couple. Nice.
Nice shooting.
Thanks.
We could go purchase a cow for about $600 if you really want to go home with some meat. These are free-range, organic.
We didn't see a lot of birds, but we saw enough that it was successful. This is it. It was fun. I'm absolutely going to do it again. Okay, let's eat. Being able to go and do a hunt, then come back and be able to share it with other people, I think that seems to be a nice trend that people are trying to get back to. Good duck in there. That tastes nice.
Daddy, I like your gumbo.
Thank you, Maggie.
Am I fish messy?